Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna review the Hot Toys Core Scale, the Mandalorian and Grogu, and this is the deluxe set. So as usual, let's start with the box here. Again, very massive and classic design as their older Core Scale pieces. So you pretty much have these 3D printed like head effect on the box, and this is your pretty much standard Star Wars design. I believe pretty much all companies out there, including, you know, who's doing Star Wars nowadays? Obviously Sideshow, Hot Toys, and some of the statue companies have this design where you have the Star Wars logo, you have this black and gray design like this. So yeah, pretty cool box, pretty cool box. Let's look at the accessories. Okay, so I think this might be the Core Scale that has the most accessories out there. Again, I might be wrong, but there's a lot of stuff right there. Obviously the instruction, you have the pram for Grogu, you have this transparent attachment that goes on the pram and then goes on the diorama base. You have the same flame effect that comes with Boba Fett. You have this bag that you put Grogu in, this huge almost like sniper rifle that he carries throughout the seasons. You have a pistol. I forget what this piece is about, maybe it's like a detonator. This is like a tracking piece. You have a knife, some spare handbags. This goes on his wrist. And this, I believe, you have to put some batteries in this. And this goes on his helmet. This actually lights up. Okay, so let's start with the smallest guy right here, Grogu. Very nicely made. This is a big improvement over the 6 scale figure because this one actually has a cloth goods on him, so that's very nice. Obviously the older one, the 6 scale figure was pretty much like a small statue. There was almost no articulation, and this piece was like plastic, so sculpted. But this one you have an actual body underneath, and you have a lot of articulation. It's pretty decent actually. You can actually sit him down. There's ball joints. Obviously his arms are very small, and again, very good, likeness on this one. Honestly, the only thing that they haven't done was the hair on his head and on his ears. That could have been done even at this scale because again it's pretty small, but you know, it's big enough where you could add the hair on the head, maybe even sculpted, but you know, actual hair would have been cool on the top of his head. But yeah, you have this Mandalorian, you know, piece that goes on his neck. Yeah, I like it's not clean. You have like some dirt and some grime on his collar right there, like he was eating something, you know, kind of like a baby. I mean, you know, babies are not usually clean all the time, so yeah, I like this. I like the textures here, the material is fantastic. And it's cool that they've included Grogu with this set, because I believe they also included, you can buy this separately. I don't know why you would do that. Maybe if you had like the Iron Studios, you know, Mandalorian, which is also core scale, you can buy this one and pose it with that. So who knows? But yeah, it's a cool addition. So this guy is very solid. Again, I'm gonna show you later on how to, you know, interchange the head. The ears are pretty, you know, easy to swap. They pretty much plug inside the head, and the seam is not that bad. It's almost like part of the sculpt, so that's cool. So let's move on to Mando. And obviously I cannot forget how cool this base is, so let's look at this one first. I like the whole theme of the base. It's pretty much, you know, Easter eggs from the first 3 seasons, mostly the first 2, but you have the IG-11 right here, I believe. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I hate this type of material right here, this soft vinyl. As you can see, the head is, you know, actual PVS or ABS plastic, but then right here you have this crap, very soft in terms of details. Most of the base, you know, it's solid enough. Again, the rocks right there could have been better. Here you have another Mandalorian head, which I've actually tried to remove this and put him on a figure, and it actually works, because I believe it's the same sculpt. So, and rocks right here have some pistons, and you have this giant gun. I believe this one's from season 1, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below. And then right here on the back, see how it's actually very blurry in terms of details, because again, I'm pretty much sure this is a yeah, it's a vinyl soft PVC material, so the details kind of got lost when they sculpted this. But other than that, it's a very good base. When the figure stands on top, it's about 24 inches tall, so just a heads up there for space. You have this Menosaur right there. I think that's the name of this animal. And then you have the Star Wars logo right there with the Mandalorian plaque. So yeah, it's a very cool base. I think it's worth getting the deluxe, because again, if you're getting the standard, you only get this piece, which is common with the Core Scale figures. And it, you know, it also looks better. You have this storytelling effect. So yeah, you have this hose right there. It's like a soft material. And again, what I've noticed actually yesterday when I was getting the accessories out of the box, if you rub this too hard, the paint is actually coming off on the hose right there. So as you can see, again, it's not a big deal, but just a warning to you guys. Yeah, great base. I think there's also a light up on this. I know the IG-11 head actually lights up on the front, and maybe even the gun, but I'm not sure. Let's double check. Yeah, excellent piece. So let's take a closer look at the figure. Okay, and here's the big boy himself, Mando. Very cool figure. Right on top, there's some inaccuracies with the figure. Obviously, the color of the suit. I think it's supposed to be like brown or gray. Again, I'm not sure how it comes out on camera. But this part right there and the pants are not the right color. And other than that, what sucks is when this one was announced, I think a few months later, they've announced the chromed version 1/6 so it would have been cool if his armor would have been chromed as well. Or maybe they should have waited to make a chrome version, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get a 2.0 eventually, who knows. But the armor itself is not bad, as you can see right there. When I put the light on it, you know, he still has this shiny effect, but not as close as what he was in season 2. So yeah, the armor actually goes, he has some velcro that goes on the body. So I was thinking of actually sending this guy to a customizer to repaint the whole armor to make it more accurate to the show. So maybe if I do it, you know, it's gonna be pretty easy. I mean, the show, everything is, like I said, velcro. The helmet is on ball joint. These you pretty much slip when you take the hands off, so nothing you know, too crazy. Actually, I like this one a lot more as a comparison. As you can see, it's dirty, but there's more chrome in that than in this and the rest of the parts. But like I said, they have a shine, so it's close enough, but not completely accurate to the show. The boots here are sculpted. You have a separation right there, so you can get more articulation. These are individual pieces. Same on the belt. And here on the sides you have these grenades. I think they are grenades or some mines. Those are magnetic, as you can see. They just clip inside. You have 3 of them. And on the 6 scale figures, you can actually only take 1. So on this score scale being larger, you can take all 3 of them. Here, I think this, I forgot the name. on this where he shoots the missile. This part can actually be removed, so you can put the open one. Again, excellent figure right here. You can put the pistol right there. I'm gonna assemble this guy in a few seconds. And I love the cape, man. The material on this cape is awesome. It's sick. It's almost like a microfiber texture. Remind me of the same material that I use to actually wipe my Blu-rays. It's very soft like this, so you have some weathering on the bottom. You have some holes throughout the figure. And I believe there's also a hole. Yeah, see this one right there? You put the rifle throughout. Yeah, excellent design. I really like this character, man. I think Mando is probably the best thing that Disney have done since, you know, the Star Wars movies, which most of them were crap except Rogue One. So I think season 3 was pretty weak, but season 1 and 2 were excellent in my opinion. So excellent. So yeah, let's put some accessories on him. Okay, and there's a good shot on his back. Again, you have this back armor and the strap. This piece right there basically holds his rifle. I'm gonna attempt to put his backpack on again. You have some felt material right there so you don't scratch the back. And this should just... there you go. Goes nicely right there. And usually in the show, when he has his backpack on, his cape is on the side right there. I think this is the good side. And there's how that goes. Again, I just put his pistol on his hand right there. Again, the pistol goes here. You have to undo this, you know, strap to put the pistol inside. And already right there, it looks badass. I mean, such a great character, man. I mean, it reminds me of almost like a Clint Eastwood, you know, cowboy type of deal. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so the detonator piece goes right there. There's a hook in the middle right there. I think you can see it. So the best way actually to get this on is to move the bullets up, so you have the room to put this piece on. Next is this smaller piece, which is like a tracking device. This one goes in here, just like that. Then you have the knife, just has great details. This one goes inside his boot, right there. I think there's a proper slot. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, fantastic design. Again, this knee pad is adjustable. There's a strap on the back if you wanna pull it up or down. There's actually a Velcro right there, material. And again, the articulation is very solid on this guy. There's ratcheted joints everywhere. I think there's like a fat suit underneath, so the torso is limited, but the legs are decent. Again, double joints everywhere. You have strong ratcheted joints, so you shouldn't have a problem of posing him. Again, it's a little bit awkward because of the base. Obviously, you can actually put his knee down if you want to have some more iconic poses. But in terms of flying poses is not going to be possible because again, you have the crotch grabber and not the waist grabber. So again, that would have been cool to see, to have like a massive articulated pole on the back and actually make him fly. That would have been cool. So for instance, if you want to recreate that pose when he's flying and you have baby Grogu inside the satchel, you can still do it, but it's not gonna look too convincing since his feet are gonna be on the base. And here's another look with the rifle on the back. Again, there are two straps right there that magnetize, and then there's a strap close to the handle right there that magnetize on the strap on his chest right there. So pretty easy to do. Again, glad I didn't do this on camera because it was a little bit tricky at the bottom right there with the magnets, but other than that, you can just readjust the cape, and there you go, you have this look. I like having the rifle on the back. I think that's badass. Again, holding his gun. That's very nice actually. Okay, and here's a look at the two heads on Grogu. Again, this one has an open mouth. This one is kind of sad. And you can see the ears on this one are kind of up. You can interchange the ears between them. So if you want to have like a sad look like this one, or even like this one. Again, this one I don't really see the difference. Let me see here. Yeah, they are more. They look straight, where these ones, you know, they have this angle look on top. So yeah, the details are nice again inside. Let's see, focus. It's nice. I'm actually interested on getting the 1:1 scale Grogu. Maybe even the one that was showed a couple weeks ago at the Star Wars show in Japan. That one actually comes with a bag. I might have a plan on how to display that. Yeah. This one, I'm gonna show actually his hands. Right there, this is almost like a force hand, or to hold this piece right there. This is from the ship, if you guys remember, when he was trying to steal it. I think he's supposed to be like the shifter knob from the ship, the Razor Crest, and then Mando obviously, you know, he gave up and he gave this to Grogu as a, I guess, like a toy. So again, the hands are similar. I think the only thing that changes are like the finger gesture. Again, it's pretty easy to swap. You have this interesting. It's very interesting how they made the hands. It's like ball joints. Then there's a ratchet, and the hand, you know, goes pretty much in there. So yeah, very interesting how they did this. Yeah, I really like this guy. And here's a good look at the pram. It's a very large piece, very substantial, as you can see next to my hand. And you can remove the top right here, which is cool. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. It's pretty tricky. And inside there's actually a blanket, you know, when you can put Baby Yoda. There you go. I like the details inside. Again, you have the blanket, you have this nice texture. It's nice details. Again, I like the chipping effect, you know, on the pram. The nice battle damage. Would have been cool to have like a sand effect, because in the, you know, in the series, it's pretty much they're going, you know, in deserts and whatnot. So a slightly, you know, sand effect would have been cool in the crevices. But yeah, let me put this on the base and show you guys how this looks. Okay, so when installing the pram, they give you this piece right here. Which what's cool about this, you have two screws on every end. You can actually adjust the position on this, because this at the moment it's locked. So you can unscrew it pretty much just to be safe, because you don't want the pram to fall. And you have two holes on every end of the base when you can put this. So let me show you guys right there. Focus, and again you have two holes. You can either put it on this or on the other side. I prefer this side because it's less cluttered. So let me attempt right there. You have to push pretty hard, so yeah, you get the idea. There you go. Here's how the pram looks. Very nice. And again, usually what I do, if Baby Yoda is actually near Mando or inside the satchel, I prefer to have the closed look. But here's what the small guy looks inside. Again, you can fold the legs and, you know, have him like in a sitting position, or again put him on the base. You have a lot of options with this set. That's the difficult choices are, you know, is how you pose him, because again you have a lot of pieces, a lot of options. Again, do you have Baby Yoda inside? Do you put him there? Do you put him inside a pram? you put the cap back on the pram. Again, that's a lot of fun choices to have, which is good. I mean, the more pieces you have with a figure, the better it is, in my opinion. So yeah, that's how Baby Yoda looks, or Grogu, whatever you want to call him. Very cute. Okay, so here's a size comparison again with Boba Fett. Again, he's a core scale as well, so as you can see, Boba Fett is a little bit taller, but also Mando has a smaller base, plus he's on that Lazy Susan. So again, excellent team up here. When I saw these two on a big screen, it was amazing. So yeah, it's a size comparison right there. It's gonna be interesting to see if Boba Fett is gonna be in the solo Mandalorian movie next year. That is gonna be amazing, but who knows? So far, Disney has denied the claim, but you know, that's maybe just cinema secrets right there, like Marvel does. So yeah. And there's how I usually display mine. Just put him inside the bag. Again, it's not perfect. I couldn't actually push it more down. But the reason why I wanted to show these guys, because the new life-size Grogu actually comes with a bag like this, only life-size. So my guess is, if I'm buying the new Grogu, I can actually attach this bag next to my shelf, so it kind of hangs down. It's gonna be close to my core scale figures, so that could be an option if I get that. I think it's an exclusive to that convention, as I mentioned earlier, so I don't know how easy it's gonna be to get. So again, I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Yeah, it's I really like this look. Again, it's not the right fit. I can push him back down, but because of his robes, it's kind of difficult to put him inside. But yeah, very cool. So yeah, this, like I said, when I'm putting him either inside his sands or in the bag or in the base, I like to close the pram and still keep this on display. And you can see, you can actually rotate the pram. You can actually, like I said, unscrew that and move it around. So you have a lot of options, but because of the pram, as you can see, this thing is pretty wide. So make sure you have the space for that. Again, not as wide as the Mark IV base, which, I mean, that thing is enormous. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this one a lot. Again, you know, I say that I like every core scale figures, but I really do. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite one, because they impose presence being so tall. Again, this one is about 24 inches tall, so you know, it attracts attention. Every time I have guests, you know, the first thing that they see is the core scale figures, and Chucky, obviously. So yeah, and usually what I do, I put this open hand, and I usually put it, you know, as he's holding Grogu. And again, as you can see, you have strong ratcheted joints. You get the picture right there. So yeah, guys, again, conclusion on this, as usual, I recommend this one. You can get it now pretty cheap on the Facebook groups, you know, usually at the $300 mark. And even with that, you can get the deluxe, which comes with this awesome base. You have a lot of characters on the back, the massive gun, the pram, and you get Baby Yoda. And like I said, this one usually sells separately as well. So, you know, as a combo for $300 or in that area, I mean, you cannot go wrong. Like I said, the chrome could have been better on the figure. And also, we don't have a Pedro Pascal head sculpt. That would have been also amazing in core scale, imagine, with like the movable eyes and everything. That could have been awesome. So who knows, maybe they're gonna do like a 2.0 version, as we're getting a new movie next year, Mando and Grogu, so who knows. I mean, you know Hot Toys, they constantly make more Star Wars figures, as kind of Marvel is dead at the moment, don't have a lot of characters, so who knows. You never know with them. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Again, let me know in the comments below, do you like the show? Do you like Grogu, Mando as a team? Make sure to subscribe, follow me on TikTok for more content, and as usual, stay safe, have a great day, see you soon on another review. Bye bye.